Interesting stuff.
Just to come in with that entertainment or event management example, because it is a really interesting one that made me have to think, because I come from a university perspective and I'm actually trying to almost talk about universities needing to change in the way they do things. I would say that we shouldn't expect universities necessarily to be re-engaging in new ways of credentializing when it's our very credentials that are the ones that have the elitist status. Mm-hmm. So it's not necessarily in the interest of universities to threaten their status with lots of these micro-credentials unless we capture that area. But the entertainment / event management talk that I was giving, they're interested because they go to set up for different gigs, and they have no control over the venue typically, but they pay a fortune for insurance. So they're scaffolders that need to put up the lights. They also typically employ a lot of casual staff or local staff. So knowing that someone has the certificate that knows how to put up the lighting, as an example, for an event, means that they can arguably reduce their insurance liability because they can show that their staff, the labor, are adequately trained to do the job. So that has nothing to do with a credential that necessarily builds into being a degree qualification, the micro stacking to the macro. And I often talk, at a definition level, seeing it on a horizontal and a vertical axis, in that some if you think stacking type micro-credentials, building up together, are more like lifelong learning stacking, but then we have life-wide learning where we're not necessarily doing things that are connected. I might be interested in keeping bees and I can do a course on bees, but similarly, I might want to learn something about cooking and I can do a class that leads me to have a micro-credential, and that's not for work purposes, but it is equally valid, you could argue, if the whole end goal is to have people who are committed to their lifelong learning and development.